You know, Jack, I've been author of a few books myself, several books actually, training and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, after getting a chance to, you know, review the DVD called The Secret and Chicken Soup for the Soul and all the other books that you've been the author of and co-founder and so forth, you've really created a legacy. And that legacy is pretty impressive. You've really helped a lot of people. And I know that there's got to be something inside of you that really makes you move and gets you to do what you do. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Jack?
Well, I think everyone has to find their passion. And I found mine at an early age, which was to be a teacher. And I actually taught high school for a number of years. Then I became more interested in why my kids weren't interested in learning than I was in teaching history. So I got into motivation. And fortunately, I was living in Chicago where W. Clement Stone, who was a good friend of Napoleon Hill and actually co-authored a book with him, became my mentor. And I worked for him for a number of years, teaching teachers how to inspire kids to be motivated to achieve. And one day a teacher said, my husband's company needs what you do. I said, well, I've never worked in a corporation. It kind of scared me. And I said, she said, they're just big kids in suits. So I said, okay, I'll go do that. And I did it, and it was wonderful. But all that to say that I love to teach. And my mission statement or my life purpose statement is to inspire and empower people to live their highest vision in a context of love and joy. So when I'm inspiring people with Chicken Soup for the Soul stories or empowering them with things like that are in my books and the success principles and Jack Canfield's Key to Living Law of Attraction, the Dream Big Kid and so forth, then I am living my purpose. So I'm happy. I mean, I believe each of us was born with this inborn thing that we were meant to do. The problem is most of us get, what would you call it, conditioned out of it by our parents, by our schools, by our coaches and so forth. And fortunately, I discovered mine when I was about 26, and I've had it now. I'm 64, so I've been living this for almost 40 years. And what makes me tick is watching people's eyes light up when they discover who they really are, and they start coming from expressing their purpose in the world rather than just making money or just being famous or the normal things that motivate people.
You know, Jack, you've seen so many people overcome failure, and you've seen them go from, in a lot of cases, probably zero to hero. And what was it, or what is it, that you feel that would be a real quick message for these people that are learning from you and your books and your Dream Big system and everything to help them overcome their struggles?
You know, really, if you look at success, there's no one magic bullet, and I wish there was. I'd write a one-chapter book and I'd be a multimillionaire. There's a number of things you need in the right order. A system is something that produces a predictable result over and over. So if you have a success system, it's like having a combination to a lock. If you know the combination to the lock, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, black or white, young or old, live in the north, live in the south, went to college, didn't. The lock has to open. The problem is most people they just don't know all the numbers to the lock. And if they do know the numbers, and they're missing some or they have them in the wrong order. So the key is knowing to do the right things in the right order. And the key is, if we break it down to like maybe some basics. Number one, you have to take 100% responsibility for your life. No blaming, no complaining, no excuse making. Number two, you have to have a clear purpose. You need to know, why are you here? What are you meant to do? What's your unique ability that you're bringing into the world? Number three, you have to have a vision. What is it you want to achieve? What does it look like when you get there? Number four, you have to have goals and measurable objectives. Most people don't have goals. Research says only 3% of Americans and North Americans, really people around the world, have measurable objectives in their life. We have to have those so that our subconscious knows exactly what to produce. Once you have goals and you have a plan, you want to hang around successful people because we become like the people we hang out with. Then you have to get into action. If you look at the law of attraction, word attraction has 6 letters at the end that are very important. A-C-T-I-O-N. You know, satisfaction, A-C-T-I-O-N at the end. So if we want to have attraction work, we've got to get into action. And the other thing is you've got to do the right actions at the right time. And that's important to get feedback from people. So many people think when they reach success, they go, well, I did it my way, this is the way. They're not open to feedback from their wife, from their kids, from their spouse, from their friends, from their colleagues, from their brothers and sisters, their people in their organizations, their companies. And even your body is giving you feedback. Without that feedback, you can't be successful. And then perseverance is a key. Many people give up right before they get there. The key is never, ever give up. And if you do all of that, that's just some major keys. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff like rejection, save 10% of your income so when opportunities come, you can play. I mean, there's a million things. But if you just do the basics like football, blocking, tackling, passing and catching, you're going to be successful.
Jack, this is kind of a tough question because I think the answer is different for everyone. But if you were to kind of focus on anything, what do you think is the most prominent thing that holds most people back from success?
There's a number of things. Number one, it would be fear and doubt. It would be probably the overall big thing. Fear of success, what will people think? Fear of failure, fear of looking like an idiot, fear of rejection. A lot of fears that hold people back. And then doubts. Doubts that I have the ability, that I'm connected enough, that I have enough education, that I know enough people to make it the thing that I want to do work, that I have enough money to play. And so we need to learn to control our thoughts and our feelings. Our feelings are the result of our thoughts. And if we can learn to think positive and have positive expectations, if we can learn to just trust the universe is actually a beneficent, meaning wonderful place. It's on your side. And once we believe in ourselves, we get rid of our programmed conditioning, negative beliefs from childhood, and we stop listening to the negative news. Someone recently said CNN means constant negative news, and so we look at that and we get upset, and the fact is most people every day are doing wonderful things in the world. It's a great place. Most people care about their kids, they want to do well and so forth. So letting go of fear, letting go of doubt. Also, lack of a vision, lack of objectives, lack of a coach or a support team or a mentor, someone that you can look to that can coach you. Look at every major athlete has a coach. Tiger Woods has a putting coach, a swing coach, a fitness coach, a mental attitude coach. And so we all need somebody in our life who's been there, done that, and made a professional study of it to support us and coach us along the way. And I'd say the lack of action, lack of follow-through would be the other big ones. And then hanging around negative people would be another big thing that stops people.
Jack, this has been really an awesome opportunity to be able to sit down with someone who's done so many phenomenal things with his life. And with all the books you've written and all the people that you've helped, whether it's be coaching or training seminars and so on and so forth, you have really changed tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people's lives. From your heart, Jack, what kind of a message do you want to leave with the person that's listening to this message?
I want everyone to know that literally whatever your dream is, however big it is, you can achieve it. I came from West Virginia, a workaholic father, an alcoholic mother, made $8,000 a year. I was abused until I was about 14, and I lived the most amazing life of anyone I know on the planet. If little Jackie Canfield from Wheeling, West Virginia can do it, and I graduated from the half of the class that made the top half possible, so I know I don't have the super brain power that a lot of people might attribute to me. But if you understand the principles and you apply them, and that's the key, application, you can achieve anything you want, whether it's financial, social, family, health, wealth, you name it, you can have it. And if you get that and believe it's possible and take the action, you can create the dream life you've always wanted to have.
I think I just want to leave with a message as well. I've had a chance to spend what I feel is a lot of quality time with you and your friends and associates and so forth, and you have really made me feel welcome. And I think that's a very important thing, because a lot of times when people look up to you, or they look at you and then they look up to you, they don't realize that you're human too, and that you had a beginning just like all of us. Mm-hmm. And I just want to thank you for this time that we've spent here together today. And I look forward to working with you and promoting you as an individual and what you do and your love for life and everything that represents Jack Canfield.
It's been my pleasure.